Alright, it is time to do a CSS battle. We've got a couple speed bumps. My idea is a radial gradient that I get to repeat at just the right increment. The interesting thing is going to be right here. My idea was to use a border with a double line for that, but I don't know if that's going to work right there at that end. Let's see. I don't know what type of style again. Star. I'm not going to start with the background. I'm going to start with border. Uh, Double. 50 pixels. This color. And I'm going to select just the HTML for a minute. I'm going to margin that so the top is off screen, minus 50. 40, 100, and that's not right, but it's getting somewhere close. 120, let's turn on the div. Maybe, nope, that's not going to work on that end. Okay. So, interesting. Needs to be thicker. That's the right thickness. It looks like I may have to have some sort of masking element. What if I say the border width is not 60, but is its own thing? Border width 0, 0, 60, 0. Okay, that gets me that correctly, which is kind of what I want. 50, 60, 70, 65. But I still have the issue right here at this little corner. Maybe that's okay for now. Let's see if we can create a background. That is a radial gradient, red, blue. Okay, we have one of those. Now it's repeating already because there's a margin on the HTML, which we're gonna have to play with. That's okay. It's gonna go from this color to, is it gonna go to blue or is it gonna go to transparent? I don't know. By blue, I mean not the blue that I had, but this color blue. So I'm gonna be one Q keyword. This is going to be, I don't know, 80 pixels. That's too big, probably 70. I'm going to use at to push it down. I'm going to start at 50%. And I don't know what that is. Let's do 100 pixels. No, I did 10 instead of 100. Okay. Let's do 200, 210, 220, 210 was closer, 215. Okay. And now let's make it 30%. It's too big still. That's okay. We know how to fix that. 60, and now it's going to pull up some. Still too big. 50, 95, and let's change this to a pixel value. I don't know where to start. 50, but still percent 50 pixels. All right, let's say 80, not 890, 80, 90, 100, We're getting close now. What is wrong is it is maybe too high, maybe not wide enough. 55. And let's make this 200. And then let's make this 110. That's too far. 195. 90. Nope, 95. Let's try 100. It's not wide enough, or is it too wide? Too wide. So let's go to 50. And we have to move everything again, of course. 190. Is it wrong? 210's too far, clearly. 200. 195. That looks like the right height. 95. Okay, I'm struggling with this. No, is it not a circle? Maybe it's not a circle. So let's say 0, 0. Let's give it a size. I don't know what the size is. 100 pixels. It's going to be wider than it is tall, I think, 50 pixels. Now, of course, it's off screen. Let's put it back at 50%, 50%. Okay. Now, because of that size, it's repeating a lot. Oh, how am I going to deal with this? I mean, we can say repeat X. Well, I say we can say that. It doesn't seem to work. Repeat. Yeah, that's the right X. No. Repeat. I seem to be too dumb to use repeat. It's really not what I want to do anyway. The problem is that that's going to make it that way. And I want the ellipse to be the other way. So, okay. That doesn't look like a pill, though. Maybe it's a pill and I'm just wrong. All right, let's go back to where we were before all of this. Yeah, I don't know. This does not currently look to me like a circle. Let's try the other one. So let's move it over to 225, 215. Okay. So there, because we can see a little more of it, our starting point is not perfect, but it's close to 14. That's even better for right here. So if the starting point is correct, then it needs to be wider, 55. That, of course, moves it up, so I need to push it back down to 100. Whoops. 200. Now I need to move it over again. So let's make it to 19, 20. That's too far. 18, 17. That is a good starting point. It's not wide enough still. So let's make it wider. 58. Push it down. 203, 204. Push it over a little more. 18. Now, let's get rid of the border. Okay, now it's too wide, clearly too wide at 58. 56. Let's get the height right. 201. 2. That looks like the right height. 2, 15. 16. Maybe. Maybe that's good enough. Let's get the border back. Okay, so now it's already repeating to over here. We just need to change how it's repeating. So I want this to be 0, 0, I think. And let's get rid of that slash. Let's say repeat x. Okay, that's fine. So that goes there, not where I had it. And then I need to give it a size. So the horizontal size is going to be, so number 120 pixels. And 100 pixels. Now it's nowhere. Boy, I'm struggling with this today. There it is. Okay. Now can I put repeat x here? No, I can't. Can I put it here? Yes, I can. Okay. Thought I had it there before. Anyway. Let's make this 350. 250. Cuts it off. But we can probably change where it is with this. And now we need to get its repeat interval correct. 150. And let's move it again. Let's put it at 0. Okay, cuts it off. So it needs to be at about 60. That is close to the right repeat interval. Let's move it to 50, 40. No, that's not the right repeat interval. That's okay. 120. That's getting close. 42. Nope. 37. 36. 118. And 34. Nope. 8. That's close to the right repeat interval. Now, how do I mask it? I can mask it with a linear gradient. That's not going to solve the problem. That's not going to solve a couple problems. The first problem is that I don't have any blue down here. The second problem is it's bleeding through the border. The third problem is the end of this little border over here. So I should be able to fix the blue by going like that. That solves that problem, that's fine. I also can do a linear gradient, and I'm about out of time here, so linear, I have to say the word gradient, I have to say the whole property name. Linear gradient, it's going to go from blue, and it's in the wrong place, to transparent, to blue. It needs to be before this. Whoops, that much. Yeah, there, comma. It needs to be at 90 degrees. And of course, it's repeating. Can I just say no? Repeat? Yes, but it's still being margined. So maybe all of this needs to get out of here and get in a star selector. Of course, now it's in the wrong place. Everything's in the wrong place, but that's okay. That's fixable. Because I changed my margins, it moved everything. So I can move it up with this. But if I move it up with that, that's going to change how it's cut off, which I don't want to do. Actually, I do want to do that. So it needs to push down, it needs to be 20, 22, something like that. And then I need to push it back up with this. So minus 50, 500. But I need to use the pixels keyword, so it's not a keyword really. 80. That's close. I mean, it's not, but 70. And then I need to push it sideways. 50, 80, 70, no more. 90, 102. That's close-ish. And then I need to fix my linear gradient so that it cuts things off. So it's going to go 70 pixels, 0, 200 pixels, 0. Okay. This is more like 300 pixels, 350, 40, and this is more like 100. So there's all of that. Excuse me. Now, needs to move back a little bit. Let's make it 100 and 4, 3. That's as close as I'm going to get. Now I need to deal with this little smidge of border. I don't know how to deal with that at all. Because of the order I've done things, it makes it almost impossible to deal with that. Because the circles are in the back and the circle needs to be in the front to deal with this. So, let's move everything around. Okay. Now we have some things. Border's actually in approximately the right place. The gradient is not remotely in the right place. So we have to move it again. So what if this is more? That's the wrong direction. Just leave that alone for a minute. Let's move this to 0, minus 30. That's getting close. But it needs to be down further. Okay. Let's move this to 10. Let's move this. Let's actually put an outline on this for a bit. 1 pixel, solid. There is the thing. We're out of time. So officially my score today is garbage. I'm going to stop the recording. I'll do an addendum today with the rest of it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.